Ahoy sailors and welcome to the BroTalk, the most randomic podcast riding on tidal waves to bring you subjects to make you think. My name is Augusto.
And my name is Marcos.
And today we're here to...
Just to talk about some never have I ever questions.
Yes.
And this is gonna be a fun podcast for you guys.
Have you ever participated on a never have I ever? I always twist my tongue to say that.
Yeah, I got you.
Game, comment here, please. Let us know how was your experience.
I think this is my first time, but this is gonna be simple questions, okay? It's not gonna be dirty questions or related questions, nothing like that. Just for we to have some fun and to tell some stories here, maybe.
Maybe.
So, let's start.
Shall we begin?
Never have I ever cheated on a partner. I just put this down because I want people to know what the word cheated means.
Alright, the answer is no.
I already know the answer, so...
I've never.
Okay, so I'm gonna put here what this word means,
To
okay?
cheat.
Never have I ever faked sick from work.
No.
Not from work, but what about from school?
Not
I
sure
I
because
think I did it once or twice because I
you don't want to go.
Yeah. But
Well,
okay.
that's why people do it.
Yeah, for sure. But for work, no. And now I work for myself, so there's no reason to do that.
If I, calling sick from myself,
I'm not.
there's no purpose. I can't just say I'm not working today.
The only thing I will know is that I will not pay my bills probably. Never have I ever cheated on a test.
Oh,
The word cheated again.
I have a nice story. I just remembered.
Oh, let's go.
Once, a friend of mine and I had a rubber.
Oh yeah.
Big one, a big rubber. You Americans call it eraser.
Way better.
Rubber. Right.
No,
I had this rubber. It was big, like this size. It's really, really big.
Yeah.
I used it for I think 3 or 4 years. Such a big rubber it was. And this friend of mine and I, we used to sit in front of the class. And it was something very nice because the teacher, he just handed us the test and bailed.
Oh, come on.
He left, 6th grade students alone for a test.
Okay.
7th grade, we were 7th grade. And then this friend of mine and I, we finished our test because we knew all the answers, not to brag about, but we were the smartest guys in our class. So I handed him my rubber. It was all alternatives. It wasn't certificate questions. There weren't. So I just wrote down all the answers and then my rubber just traveled through the class.
Oh, okay.
It was the first class of the day, the test. I went out to take my rubber back and 5 minutes before we went home. That was when I was able to find my rubber.
Oh, come on.
For a few years I couldn't clean. And everyone's got a 10.
Oh, so that's good. One
It
for
was
you.
a miracle.
Oh yeah, and the eraser is the size of a fucking brick, so
So
for you to write every answer there, so nice.
yes, it was the best time.
Yeah.
I cheated on a few other times, but this one I remember exactly.
Yeah, I've never cheated on a test, but people every time asked me for answers for the questions, and sometimes
You gave the answers.
I gave, and sometimes I give the wrong answer purposely because I wanted to fuck it up.
Sometimes you could buy the answer.
Yeah, but
Let me say sell the answer. It's better.
I got you, but no, I've never done that.
I would sell the answers.
I was not a business guy at that time.
I would.
So okay, let me see. Never have I ever fallen asleep in public.
I think many times. Many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
In
think so.
church.
Okay.
It will happen often.
Yeah.
To fall asleep in
Alright.
church.
Yeah, I have, but it was not in church. I can't remember where it was, but I have for sure.
This is a cool one.
Never have I ever drunk dialed my ex.
What?
Drunk dialed my ex. Not to make a call
Oh,
for your
right.
ex.
No.
No, neither do
No.
I. Never have I ever been hospitalized for something other than giving birth or being born.
Yes. A few times.
A few times.
A few times.
How many?
Oh boy. I think 8 or 9 in my life.
8 or 9, but you mean being hospitalized for more than one day?
No.
No, okay.
Just ER.
Alright.
Yeah, being hospitalized, it happened when I had my surgeries.
Yeah,
Then
okay.
I had obviously to be hospitalized twice, but just the ER, 8 or 9 times.
Okay, true. I've been hospitalized for more than one day only once because of my appendix.
Appendicitis.
Yeah, that I had to remove it, so I spent, I think, that 5 good days at the hospital.
Bad.
That was really bad. The worst thing is that I had a bad feeling. I could not move, of course, and I wanted to poop so bad and I couldn't because nothing would come out because I've been more than 24 hours without eating anything.
Shit.
Yeah, there were gases on my stomach and I couldn't do anything, and I had to use a lot of medicines for it to get better.
It's bad.
Yeah, it
Really,
is.
really bad.
Yeah. Never have I ever learned a foreign language.
Foreign language. What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's a question that
But we can talk about, other languages, right?
Yeah, I'm starting to learn German right now.
German.
Yeah, it's my 5th day, I think. Or no, it has already been a week.
How's it going?
Going really good, man. I liked it a lot. And do you know what made me want to learn? Yeah, I already want to learn German, but I could not decide if I was going to start with German or French.
French sucks.
I like French as well.
Not saying it sucks because it sucks, but because it's difficult. I found it really difficult.
But I was on Omigo. Do you know Omigo?
No.
Omigo is a website where you can find strange people, random people around the world, and you can talk to them on text or video. And it's very random. And there's no monitoring on video, so sometimes you see people jerking off and doing strange things. So that's bad. But I found a German girl that was gorgeous as fuck.
Wow.
And I
There is always a girl.
yeah. And I talked to her for almost 1 hour, and she taught me a lot of things. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna learn German tomorrow. I said for her, and then I started learning German.
What does a girl do? Right?
But point, I already wanted to learn German. Okay.
Just
Yeah.
sparked.
That just made me want to learn.
Just
more.
lit the flame.
Yeah.
I tried learn German, but I was too busy to,
Yeah, I
focus.
got you. It takes a lot of time.
I remember one sentence because I used to, joke on my nephew.
Yeah.
He was just a kid and wir trinken Wasser.
We are drinking water.
Yes, that's right. Very simple. Because I said it, and he found so funny. I kept repeating it, so I memorized. Wir trinken Wasser.
Wasser.
There's always the famous ich liebe dich.
Ich bin, I am.
Ich liebe dich.
Ich liebe dich.
I love you. In
I
German.
didn't know that one.
Ich liebe dich. And ich bin, I am.
I am, yeah.
I think that's it.
I don't know a lot of things either, so...
I would remember the articles. Dir, das, and die.
I'm starting learning the...
I completely forgot how to properly use it.
I started learning how to pronounce it instead of start learning every single word, you know. I picked up some basic words and I'm just learning how to pronounce them properly. Yeah, before I even start to go further on grammar and everything.
It's kind of weird, as you see. V sounds like an F.
Yeah.
It's
Vater.
Yeah. And
It's V-A-T-E-R, I think. It's father, but they say there is a V, but they say Vater. So okay, nice.
yeah, it's very weird.
But the R is very different. They say bought, with his bread, which is bread.
I think it's some phonetics.
Yeah,
It depends on where the R is on the sentence.
Yeah, I think so,
Something like that.
probably, but I have no capabilities to teach someone yet.
So, French, I had experience with French because I was learning Italian
Yeah.
at the same time, and then I tried two languages. I tried French and also Spanish. Don't try to learn Italian and Spanish at the same time because you screw your mind.
Yeah.
But I got confused with a few words, both in Italian and French. They pronounce the same, but have complete
Different meanings, yeah.
For example, the one who got me the most was il. Il in French means he or ham. And il in Italian is the.
Okay.
And there's, male and female noun. So il is the male, the.
But have you started both at the same time?
No.
Oh, okay.
And
Because I think that you have to learn the basics first so you can start a second one and learn both at the same time.
it's something fun. I always tell people, if you learn English, anything it's easy.
You think so?
Yes, first because English is one of the easiest languages for you to learn, and because you get used to learning a language and you have many cognates in other European languages.
Yeah, I saw that in German. That's very true.
Yes, in German mostly, but also in Italian. I can't remember any example now, but you have many cognates between Italian and English that you don't have in Portuguese. For example, to arrive.
To arrive, okay.
In Italian is arrivare.
Arrivare, okay.
It's basically the same word, the same verb, the same meaning. You write the same. It's one example. The only I could remember now, but you have many cognates. Not fake cognates, but cognates.
Yeah, sure.
Both. Also in German, I don't remember if...
I think they came from the same root, isn't it?
Yes.
All of them, so that's why...
Because although English is a German language, it has many Latin influences.
For sure.
So they kind of wrap together to give something. So it's easier.
Yeah, for sure.
So you learn English, then anything gets easier. Of course, you're going for Arabic, Chinese, it's going to screw you. But there's something, because as I said, you are already used to learning new languages.
You know how to do, you know the path
Yes.
to learn it. So it's way easier, yeah, I got you.
That's why people should learn English first.
I think so.
If you are already a native English speaker, don't try Portuguese because you will get disappointed. It's really, really difficult. It's one of the hardest languages to learn. I think it's the third hardest language to learn. It's Chinese, Mandarin, Arabic, and then Portuguese.
I think that most English speakers, they try to learn Spanish.
Yes, because it's easier.
You really think so?
It's easier for them to learn Spanish than Portuguese. Because you don't have many differences between Spanish. Of course there are, but not so as European Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese. And in Brazil, we have many different dialects. So that, I don't recall the year correctly, but there was like a census where Portuguese was going to become the language with most speakers in the world. But it didn't count because they don't count Brazilian Portuguese as Portuguese. It's a dialect.
Okay.
It's not a language, it's a dialect. So that because it changes so much from one city to another, it changes drastically. So it doesn't count as a language.
Interesting.
So it's Mandarin, but also Mandarin doesn't count as a language.
Alright.
It's a dialect because from one city to another, two words are spoken completely different. Many regions in China, they can understand each other by writing only. I might be standing in front of you, you wouldn't understand a word, but if I write down, you can read it.
Come on, didn't know that.
Yes, that's why not Mandarin, neither Portuguese are counted as languages.
Shit. Alright.
I don't remember, I think English is the most spoken language in the
Yeah, I
world.
think so.
Because it counts as a language.
Everyone wants to learn English, so everything gets easier.
Yes.
I talk to people in Japan, in German, Switzerland, and Netherlands, and they all spoke perfect English, and I couldn't say that was not their native language. So you have to learn English.
You can talk to basically everyone in the world using
Yeah,
English.
you can.
And it's officially the air language.
Yeah, for sure. It is.
But that's another curiosity. In the US, English is not the official language.
What the hell do you?
They don't have an official language in the US.
Ah, yeah.
English
Okay,
is the
I got you.
most spoken language, but it's not official.
It is the America, okay, but
But it's not official.
yeah, they have nothing official there.
No, not a religion or language.
Anything.
I think that even money is something that was agreed upon, but it's not official even. I don't know.
Yeah,
Can't say
that's
for sure, but I think something like that.
Yeah, that one I have never heard of.
But it's probably true. Probably. I
Yeah,
might
we don't know, okay? Don't judge us so hard.
Don't punch us through the screen. No, don't need to. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Hit the gas. The petrol.
Where was I? Yeah, ran for
Let's just choose a random one.
Never have I ever dated or hooked up with someone 10 years older. I just put this one because I want to explain what is hooked up, okay?
I did.
10 years older?
11.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I'm
How
going
old-
to
how
tell
old-
this one.
How old were you?
I think I was 21.
Okay, okay.
I was over 18. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay, no problem. So that's a no for me, okay?
Are you going to explain hookup or just going to?
I'm gonna put it
Okay.
up here. It's have sex. Or if you are a teenager, maybe you are in high school, it means just to kiss someone.
Badly.
Yeah.
To kiss badly. With intent, right? So that's it.
Oh shit.
This one, we were talking previously. Have you ever been on a fight?
Yeah, I have. More than once.
I think I'm going to say multiple times.
Yeah, it was multiple times, but when I was a kid, I think it doesn't count.
A multiple of two.
When I was a kid, I wouldn't put it as a fight because it was just, kids.
Just make me stop. There's something cool in English language, which is what's the name of this thing, right?
Bottle.
Of what?
Water.
So cool, right? I don't think you are aware of what is this. British people is a bolowola. Bolowola. I couldn't say. I just tripped with my tongue. A bolowola.
That guy that made that video is awesome, man. Come on.
A bolowola.
That guy is very funny. You all should see that video, man. Come on.
Peanut butter.
What's the name of the guy, dude? Can you remember?
No idea.
I think it's C8EWKZ or something like that. but
I just
I'm not sure.
completely forgot the
I don't know how to pronounce, but I think it's chute, something like that. I was gonna say this in Portuguese, sorry.
Okay, so have you ever been in a fight with a bottle of water?
Yeah, more than once, but I think that the last one was the most intense one, yeah.
So how did it happen?
I was playing something, I think it was soccer or something like that. And then I was cussing a guy, because it's normal when you are between friends, you are cussing everyone on a soccer
Play
match.
soccer and
Yeah.
manly stuff, you know?
And then the guy...
Hormones.
Yeah, and then the guy didn't like it for some reason that I don't know.
Reason.
And he punched my back, and then I just turned around and gave him a punch on the middle of his face, and he dropped down, and I dropped down over him and started punching the guy. And that's what happened.
Hormones.
And that was my last fight. I don't think I'm gonna fight again. I almost broke the nose of the guy. He was bleeding. And that was not good at all.
Well, we in Kung Fu kind of had a rule, right? You don't start fights.
You finish it.
You finish them. Right, no, let's say it seriously.
Yeah.
You don't start a fight, but if someone tries to attack you, you can defend yourself. But if the guy punches in the back, or betrays your trust, then you have a reason.
Yeah.
To break his spirit. You know? Well, I have never actually been on fights, but I always started fights knowing that they wouldn't happen if I wanted to start them. You know? A couple of times. The situation was basically the same. I want to tell you two of them. I basically told you before, but more people.
No problem. Let's go.
And let me know, have you ever started fights? Let me know in the comments. And tell me what's your opinion about this one?
There's something else I had to say. I've never started a fight, but every time I had some fighting or things like that, I think I won that because people didn't believe I could do something. Because I was very skinny and I'm not tall, I'm short, I'm 5'6". If you're American, I'm 5'6".
I don't know how to say.
5'6" is 168.
I'm 177, I don't know.
7'7". You are probably 5'10" or something like that.
5'10"?
5'10" for the level.
Oh, damn.
I think that, yeah, it's close to 5'10" because it goes to 5'12", and 6 feet is 182.
Probably 5'10". So
Probably close to it.
I'm not aware really of imperial.
Yeah, because
the rest of the world use metrical.
Yeah.
Even drug dealers use metric.
Only US use feet and
miles and yards and Fahrenheit. And shame on you.
Yeah, but 5'6", 5'10".
5'10", right.
So I won because the element of surprise, I think.
Probably. Well, those fights I almost had. No, I had this quote-unquote friend. No, it was a guy who used to roll with us. Okay,
Yeah.
so quote-unquote friend. Never liked the guy never liked me. He, every time he could provoke me, he wanted. Every opportunity he had, he did. But there's something about it, because everyone knew I know how to fight. There's even this guy, I won't say names, of course, even though nobody would know the people. But, because I lived in another city. My childhood, teenager, until 2017, I lived in another city. Now I live here where we live, Pirassununga. But this guy, we were at a, motor club.
Oh, yeah.
We're not gangsters like we have in movies, right? It's not Sons of Anarchy, not something like that. It doesn't happen in reality, at least here.
Yeah.
There was, this stairways, and this guy was drunk, and all of them knew I knew how to fight. You know, there was even a guy that only 2 of our colleagues beat in an actual fight. There was a friend of mine and me. The 2 people who could beat this guy because he was way bigger than us. I think he was, 190.
Oh shit.
He was fat. I think he weighed about 120 kilos.
Oh.
The guy was massive.
The guy was almost The Rock.
Yeah, the guy was, he wasn't strong. He was fat.
He was fat, okay.
Really fat. But he was, has mass. It's difficult. Remember, mass times acceleration. So that's it.
Yeah, equals force.
Equals force. So it was really difficult to beat the guy. Because he would run over his nemesis, right? And there was a situation I had to beat his ass. Really, I really had to beat his ass. The guy was kind of crazy. So he used to think he was a great, great fighter. So, playing basically. Sorry. Basically playing a fight. Let's say you know how to fight. Let's friendly fight, okay? I think I fought this guy for 1 hour and a half.
Oh shit.
Remember when you and Mateus were here and we were playing, right?
Yeah.
I was teaching something like that, really friendly stuff. But it came to a point he saw he couldn't hit me, not even once. Because, the guy thought he knew how to fight, but he didn't. I did.
He was just learning, alright.
Basically. He thought he would teach me. And he got really, really angry. And he started, punching me for real. I said, he wasn't going to stop. So let's knock this guy out. That's what I did, basically. That's the story. It was long story, right? But at the end, that's it. So there was me and this other friend of mine who could beat this guy. So there was this other dude who always wanted to beat me. He thought he could, he was about your size, height and size, structure. And for some reason, just tripped over
Why?
a beer can,
Yeah.
tripped. I didn't see the beer can, tripped over, it spilled, it dropped on his shoe, and it was enough for him to go crazy on me. But I never really faced him because I knew I could origami him, And I really didn't want to beat him. I didn't like him, I didn't want to hurt the guy and just go fuck yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I just turned my back and go take care of your business. But this time I got so angry at him because I apologized. I didn't see the beer can. I'm sorry. I tried to apologize because I'm sincere. I didn't see the shit. Right? So he wanted to know and face me. I said, no, that's enough. Like more than a year, this guy tried to fight me. Enough. So I just, faced him back for the first and only time. And I said, do you want to fight? Let's go. And we were really high on the ground. One move and you're dead. I need one punch. And the guy was drunk, which was more becoming drunk, happy.
Yeah.
I was happy already.
So it was easier than...
He wanted those guys, I'm so drunk I'm unconscious. No, he knew what he was doing. If I move, you're dead. Because, I think
It was very
there were stairs and 10, 15 meters from the ground. They were really high. If I move, you're dead because you roll and you break your neck. 3, 4 points. You're dead before you fall. So sit back here, shut up. He never tried to face me again. I didn't touch him.
Yeah, we didn't need to fight, so...
No.
Nice.
And there was another time, let's see, when a guy, had a car accident. The guy faced me. I just appeased the situation. And then first I was going to pick up my nephew at school he was going to pick up someone at school too, I think it was his daughter. And he came to me. On the phone, he threatened me. I even went to the police. Because he really threatened my life. But then it was a point, and it happened for me to be really, really angry. I was really pissed, don't fuck with me. You don't fuck with the Peaky Blinders, Don't fuck with me today. I was that kind of man today. And then there was him, he came to me. I said, oh boy, it is too dark. I put my knife aside. What do you want? And made fists with my hands. Turn battle position, turn sides, inflated my chest, close my fist. What do you want? Basically, come. Let him come, The guy, who was really going to, put to fear in his face or something like that. As I faced him back, he couldn't look in the eye. Just, wait, no, sorry. It was the only 2 times I really need to basically start a fight, but I knew people wouldn't come to me because I knew I could face them. I was confident.
Yeah, you were so confident that they saw that they
they saw they couldn't beat me. This other kid basically who tried, I threatened, I want to throw you down. Yeah. He knew he couldn't beat me. He was just a bully. As he knew I would face him. Stopped it. It was the same guy. I never heard of this guy.
He had no technique. He didn't know how to fight.
No. He was just a bully.
Okay.
He would bully everyone. Everyone he didn't like or he disagreed, especially musical taste, which was the subject, kids basically. And there was something, just remember this guy wanted to fight me. For a long time we knew he was a minor. I think I was 24, 23 at the time. Yeah. But when this happened, that I faced him back, I said to him, you are over 18 now. I can break you. So then I think he realized, I'm fucked now. I don't fuck with him anymore. Because I told him, now you're over 18. You can't hide anymore.
I can't understand those guys. Because, as you said, size makes a lot of difference on a fight.
Yes.
And the guy has no size and no technique that would maybe compensate for his size. He had no technique. And why? He wanted to die bullying people?
Yes, because, he was a minor. If I did anything, I would go to jail. This would be enough for me to put me in jail.
Yeah, but he could be dead.
At this point, he wasn't a minor anymore. Police wouldn't help me.
Yeah.
So what is he going to do? Of course, he knew I wouldn't kill the guy, because I wouldn't, really.
Yeah.
But he felt threatened, because he knew, now I can beat you. You're not protected anymore by law. You're just a bully.
Idiot.
And I'm a guy who hates bullies. Yeah. Because I've been bullied a lot at school. I hate bullying, so the guy came to me, bullying me, and I could beat him now. So he stopped.
But people try to hit you or something in school?
A lot. I used to be beaten in school a lot.
Come on.
For a great many years, I fed revenge feeling towards the guy who bullied me at school. But then, it's something cool about martial arts. As you start training, you put everything you have against the guy out in training. So when it really came, I met the guy who bullied me at school. I saw I was bigger than him, taller than him. We were both kids back then. I'm bigger, I'm taller, I'm stronger, I'm faster, I know how to fight. The guy was like this, and he's probably sick. I don't even know if the guy's alive. As I saw the guy, I glanced at him menacingly because, I got infuriated by his PTSD. Something like this level of trauma I had. Because he used to beat me for years. I think 5 years being beat by this guy. Then I glanced at him menacing because I'm going to destroy you now. But as I looked at him, he got white, like paper sheet white. I saw him start to shake.
Come on.
So I really felt pity of him. So I didn't do anything. I think I had my entire revenge at that point. The guy,
Just looking at it.
the guy who beat me for 5 years was deadly afraid of me. So I told myself, no, it's enough. I had my revenge. So I just passed the guy, stared at him, and followed my life. Never seen the guy again.
Wow. Nice.
So yeah, I think it was revenge. And it's something because I think I wouldn't try to fight him. I knew I could, but I wouldn't. That's something cool. Because many people, many times in life, I saw situations where I think I could really solve things by, creating havoc. Punisher-like situation. Start beating people's ass. Many situations, but it's something I really didn't. I tell him now, it looks like I'm a really violent guy. But no, I've never laid a punch. Never. I never needed to. As I said, there's many situations where I could solve brute force. I could, but never did. The only 2 times I really need to impose myself, I saw just imposing myself. Standing my ground is enough. No, don't fuck with me.
Normally it is enough. Yeah.
Normally it is. That's something cool about communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember episode 1, right? Watch episode 1. Body language. Just convey my message. Don't fuck with me. It was enough.
Yeah. Maybe we're not, because I am not so intimidating by size or things like that, but communication can really help body language and everything.
If you know how to stand your ground.
Yeah. But you have to convey confidence, or it's not going to work.
But there's something about that should be aware. Everyone should be aware. Be ready.
Yeah.
Because the other guy might want to stand his ground too.
Yeah. And that's
Then
a problem.
you gotta know how to deal with it.
That's a real problem.
That's a problem. So you really gotta be prepared. If you want to, stand up for yourself, be prepared. It might be a work environment. You just have to stand verbally for yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a battle. It is a battle.
But if it is a problem on the streets,
then you gotta be ready to fight.
yeah, and that's really a problem. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't even try to stand ground depending on the situation, of course. Because there's no rules on the streets.
Yes.
And when shit happens,
That's when you know that what you learn on the gym, fighting gym, martial arts, is not enough.
yeah.
That's why people go to MMA,
Yeah.
not to fight in UFC, but because they
To
know
prepare to a real occasion, let's say.
I'm going to, rephrase here GTA San Andreas. The street is cold, dog.
Nice, I like it.
It's complicated on the street.
Yeah. And the other guy could have a knife or a gun.
A gun.
And you are fucked up.
Then I have a problem. You
Then
gotta
you have a
know how to
problem.
assess the situation.
If the guy has a knife, run for your life.
If you're being mugged, the best self-defense technique is hand over your phone, your wallet, and claim for life.
Yeah, your life is way better. But if you have to fight,
You
the guy
gotta-
have a knife, you have your bare hands.
You gotta find a table.
Yeah. If you are in the middle of the street, you are fucked up, just run.
Yes.
I would run. Fuck it. Because knife's a knife,
A knife's a knife, a gun is a gun.
Yeah, I think that for you to disarm someone that has a knife is way harder than a gun. If the guy have not withdrawn the gun yet, of course.
Well, there's an experience. I think it was in England where they kind of tested police officers against a knife attacker. The guy must be threatening the police officer from I think 12 meters to the officer be able to draw the gun and shoot. Because that's the time it takes.
If it's less than 12, the guy that has a knife has an advantage. Yeah.
It will probably stab the officer. In knife attacks, they come from close. The guy doesn't come with a knife like horror movie. He comes close to you, puts the knife in your belly or something. No, don't move. You don't have the option. Maybe you won't even know from where the stabbing came. That's a problem with knives, so beware, don't go fighting.
For sure.
Really, really tough. So let's go. Next question.
Never have I ever won more than $50 gambling. Do you guys know what's gambling? It's gonna be up here.
No. Actually, I've never gambled. So.
Yeah, neither did I. So. Never have I ever lied about my age. Why would I?
No.
I have.
So sure.
To register myself on Recruit.
Everybody did that, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. Never have I ever flashed someone.
No.
Just for you guys to know what is flash, okay? But none of those guys have. Never have I ever had a road rage incident.
No, the only time when I had an incident was when this guy wanted to face me, but it was months later.
Yeah.
By the time the accident, I just kept it cool because I know you don't do this kind of thing. You just
for sure. Yeah.
It's just incorrect to do that. Just let's visit the thing. Register that something happened. We went to the precinct.
And try to solve the
police,
problem. The best
do
possible.
the documentation, and everyone follows the path. The accident, the guy tried to face me was months later. I think 3 or 4, maybe 6 months later. So it took a time.
Okay. And that's a no for me again. Never have I ever been awake for 24 straight hours or more.
Almost. But no. I think it was 20. The longer
Oh, okay.
I kept awake.
Yeah, I did. Twice.
It's horrible for a brain.
Yeah, it is. It's not good. But I was just enjoying the moment, so,
Oh, if I have to enjoy the moment for more than 3 hours, I'm leaving for another moment.
Alright.
I don't stay cool for a moment for longer than 3 hours.
That's a question that I can't understand. Never have I ever accidentally said I love you to someone.
Drunk people do that.
I've never been drunk, so
that's
maybe that's the reason. Have you ever been drunk?
No. I always know how to control. Stop now. Stop. Yeah.
And never have I ever worked with someone I couldn't stand.
Every place I worked before I started my own thing, I always had someone I couldn't stand. More than one someone,
Oh yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Some 2, some 3s.
Yeah, that's a no for me because I've only worked in one place before working for myself, so no.
Because there are assholes everywhere.
Yeah, there are. That's normal.
And people want to know. I don't know if that's the correct English term, which is pull your carpet. I don't know if there's something like that in English.
I think there is.
There is something like that. No, I don't think that's the same.
No, that's not the same thing.
Pull a leg.
Yeah.
Pull a leg. Pull a leg. I remember everywhere there's a pushover, someone wants to pull your leg to go, to have what you had.
Yeah, that's normal. That's normal everywhere. Yeah. Another one just to teach them. Never have I ever had a friend with benefits.
Friend benefits, I always wanted to before my teenage years.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it, basically.
I've never tried that thing.
I kinda had,
Oh.
because I dated a girl once, but I was so stupid at the time. She wanted to really date me. She really wanted to be my girlfriend, but I was too stupid. And for misunderstanding, we ended up breaking up. So it just became kind of a friend's benefits.
That's normal.
But I think it lasted for 2 months. Then I never saw the girl again.
Okay. Where's the problem? Never have I ever been on a blind date.
Had the opportunity. I had the opportunity, but I didn't go.
All right.
Not that I didn't go. I didn't accept. Because if I didn't go, it's not like I didn't show up. No, I didn't accept it.
Gotcha. Never have I ever set something on fire while cooking.
I was cooking. I set some things on fire, but not while cooking.
So okay, never have I ever set something on fire.
Yes, I did.
Accidentally.
No, purposely.
Why? No. Explain that.
Things like childish things. Don't play with fire.
What did you do?
Some like leaves, burning leaves.
Yeah.
Things like that, I used to live in a house where our backyard was basically dirt, and then you had to clean it. We had trees, so we had to pull them together, and it's customary from here in Brazil. It's ugly. I hate it, but sometimes you have all those many leaves, and you have to set on fire, something like that. Leaves.
Okay, so that
was normal.
It was normal. Okay.
Let me destroy this arson.
Yeah, I thought that
something like that.
I thought that you almost destroyed the house or something like
that.
No. So okay, no problem.
You don't fuck with fire.
Not interesting here.
We're looking at this website with 250. Never have I ever questions. So
there's some things here that are not
takes
even
a little time.
Never have I ever slept in my car. Maybe there's a story about it.
Yeah.
Were you traveling or something?
No, I just was sitting there and fell asleep.
Alright.
Simple. Okay. I think I was waiting for someone.
Good story.
Fell asleep. Excellent story.
Yeah, I thought you were, I don't know, going around in Brazil or something like that.
No. Interesting. If I didn't have a baby, I would try to do that. Yeah, with my wife, probably. But, I have a baby, so I can't do that. I can't just pick my wife and do that.
Yeah, maybe you will someday.
I don't know. Maybe I'll be too old for that. I have other plans for my life, so.
Never have I ever had a surprise party thrown for me.
Once, I think when I was 10.
Okay.
I had. But I hate surprises.
Yeah.
I hate surprises.
Why, man? Why?
I don't like it. I even told my wife once, don't make me surprised. I hate it. Okay. You want to do something for me? Do it. No problem. But don't make it a surprise because you'll get me angry. Not happy. I'll be angry. I'll be pissed throughout the thing because I hate surprises.
Alright.
So tell me, please.
So, do you like jump scare games?
No.
Yeah, that's some kind of surprise,
And that's which is dangerous because I think I already punched someone. Something like that. I was scared. My first reaction was to punch.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I got you.
didn't end up in a fight because
It happens.
It happens.
If you are trying to jump scare someone, that may happen. So.
I once almost, it happened very rarely in the past.
Yeah.
Something that's really, really behind me. That if someone tried to wake me up, I was sleeping, someone has to wake me up and touch me, I will attack the person. Once someone went to wake me up, I just grabbed the person's neck. It took, I think, 10 seconds to really wake up and knew what I was doing and release the person. So I almost killed someone like that, just went for the throat here. Tiger claw stuff, kung fu stuff, and just got the person there in 10 seconds. I think if I took 5 more seconds to wake up, the person would, at least faint.
Oh shit.
Then I woke up and released the person. And once I almost punched my mother. I didn't hit her because, I had blankets on and I felt that my hand got stuck in the blankets. Nothing happened. Wake me up. So it's not healthy for people to touch me to wake me because it's reflex.
But why do you take a lot of time to wake up?
I don't know. To this day, I don't know. I think something like I was dreaming, I was being attacked, something like that, and I really attacked someone. In this case, I remember my mother went to wake me up, and I really dreamt I was being attacked, I was reacting to an attack. So if my hand didn't, get stuck on the blankets, I would have punched my mother in the face.
Yeah.
Not proud of it. Really not proud of it, but it happened. It doesn't happen anymore. I think 8-9 years.
But
it never happened again. This time when I almost choked someone was the last time. 8-9 years ago.
Come on.
Great, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
When I married Karen, I would have never touched me to wake up because I don't know what might happen. Because this could happen. And I want you to call me, poke me with a stick, but don't touch me.
Yeah. Come on, man. Never have I ever parked in a handicapped spot. Handicaps can be up here.
I really respect handicaps and elderly spots. I respect that.
I cannot park because I can't drive, so I just move on.
You just walk places.
Yeah. Never have I ever sneezed on a stranger.
No, never.
I don't think so. I can remember. Never have I ever thrown up in public.
I've never.
I have. Right in front of the gym. I was working my legs out.
Leg day.
Leg day, And that was really heavy. It was the best workout I've ever had. And then when I went out of the gym, I just in front of the gym. I couldn't hold it and I threw up right on the sidewalk. That's it.
That's bad.
That's really bad.
Really bad. It happens. Go lie, right? You people walk out. Go lie. No, turn. Go lie.
That's interesting. Never have I ever sent a sext to the wrong person.
No.
It's a sex text. Okay.
No.
Neither.
Dirty talk on phone. No, I've never.
Never have I ever eaten an entire pizza alone. You have.
Yeah! Pizza, a bag of cookies. I have eaten many things.
I think I have as well.
A bag of bread.
Oh shit.
Many things. I ate on the other day this week a pack of granola.
Oh,
I'm eating a whole pack of granola.
1 kilo?
No, half a kilo.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't eat entire kilo. I would feel really bad. I would pass out.
Yeah, if it was 1 kilo, I would be very, very impressed.
Oh, it wasn't. Still,
Yeah, it's a lot.
a lot. Many things I ate. Not proud of it, but I did a lot. This pack of granola was throughout the day, not one sitting.
Ah,
Throughout the
okay.
day, I
It was
did.
one sitting.
No,
Oh, it would be pretty good.
throughout one day, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, a pack of Oreos, it was a sitting, pizza, or sitting. I never realized that. My wife told me years later, that once I ate an entire, pack of pasta alone. I did it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Even my father-in-law asked her, he didn't get sick. My answer was, why?
High metabolism now. That's it.
In the past.
Yeah, it happens.
Right now, really, it's a bug of getting old.
Yeah, it's
I can't eat. I think the last meal would be around 6 p.m.
Yeah, but that's normal, isn't it? The older you get, the lower your metabolism
Yeah.
will be.
But some I wake up, I don't throw up, but I feel sick in the middle of the night if I eat later, 8 p.m.
Gotcha.
It will be bad for my health already. So 6 p.m. is the latest.
Oh, interesting. Alright.
Eat while you can and don't be overweight. Work your ass out.
Never have I ever clogged a toilet. Everybody has.
Everybody has.
Just for you to know what is clogged.
Remember that if you're from the US, your toilets are meant not to get clogged. Here in Brazil, it's an entire sewage system. It's completely different.
Yeah, it's different.
It doesn't work like in your country. So yeah, they clog often. You don't need to make something really big for it to clog. Sometimes it clogs because it wants to, basically. Sometimes you drop a glass of water inside the toilet, it may clog because it wants to.
Never have I ever fought with a partner in public.
No, basic human decency. You have a problem with a partner.
Yeah?
There's a saying here in Brazil that
What
the
question is this?
the clothes you wash at home. Right? It's a saying we have here.
Never have I ever beaten a video game.
Oh, come on.
Come
We're
on.
video game guys.
But do you remember what the first one we beaten?
Super Mario World
I can't remember.
from Super Nintendo, just the first. Or was it? No, I think it wasn't. It was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for Super Nintendo.
I have
It
no
was
idea.
the first game I beat.
I have no idea what was my first one. Because once I saw a picture of me playing video game when I was 3 or 4 years old, and I saw a game that I couldn't even remember existed. So I have no idea what is my first game that I finished.
So you got one.
Alright. Never have I ever met a celebrity.
I think I did.
Who?
I had the opportunity, but I didn't go twice.
Oh,
I had the opportunity to meet Paul Dayano, the first singer from Iron Maiden. He went to Leme once. And I had the opportunity to meet André Matos from Angra. He went to Limeira. It's a close city. Okay? I had these two opportunities, but I didn't go. Friends went, and I didn't go. I didn't have the cash to go. I know a story, a guy, see, it might be a lie, but if it's true, it's so freaking awesome. A guy I met, the husband of someone I work with, he and I think two other friends, they went to see Black Sabbath when they came to São Paulo on the end tour, the last tour. And then they got misdirected and they found a parking lot. They entered. The girl from the parking lot just said, "Oh, do we have the tickets?" Yeah, we do. I have the tickets. So go in. She didn't ask them to hand the tickets, so they entered. And when they saw, they were parking. They saw Camaros. They're big cars, here in Brazil. They're not popular cars like in the US. They're rich people cars. Here, Mustangs, Camaros, Mercedes. Really, rich people cars. This is from Brazil. In the park, they had a Renault Clio, an old model. Then they entered, and there was an open bar, and there was food. And when they realized they were backstage, they were seeing Ozzy from behind.
Oh shit!
Then they went to research, and each ticket would cost, I think, 15,000 Rio. They paid 400 each for their respective tickets. But the girl didn't ask them to hand out a ticket, so they just went through and they watched the whole Black Sabbath show from backstage.
You gotta be kidding me.
I don't know, it's true, but if it is, it's a nice story. I wish I were there.
For sure, come on.
Let's do the last one.
Last one.
one.
Oh, it's gotta be a good one then. Never have I ever tried CrossFit. It's not a good one. Let me go to another one.
It's a lame one.
I was just kidding, don't worry.
You went all the way down.
Yeah, I went all the way down. And I didn't find anything
Great one.
that I... Never have I ever prank called someone.
I think I did when I was a child.
Not as an adult,
Not as
okay.
an adult, because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I'm a grown-up guy. I wouldn't do it as an adult. But as a kid,
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, I got you. You've never done that. But I heard stories from people doing that. On the precinct, it happened a lot.
Yeah.
Like, there was a guy there that liked to do prank calls to the newcomers, And that was really interesting, but I can't say them.
Alright, it's a complicated story.
Yeah, not a lot, but I think it's better not say them.
Right. So that's it.
That's
it. 1 hour. Hey, I don't know if it's going to be cut
Yeah.
to get shorter, but yeah, 1 hour.
Yeah, more or less. So, thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to leave a comment down below and like, subscribe, everything. And if you want to share this with a friend of yours, it'll be good.
Very helpful.
Yeah.
And tell us, what did you think? What did you think? I just blew out my tongue.
It's normal.
Did you like this format? Did you like, just a random talk? I didn't bring, a philosophical question, philosophical matter for you to understand.
I think it was fun, man. I think they're going to
Was
at least laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe not a lot, but
Yeah, we
laugh.
laugh sometimes, yeah.
Maybe laugh, you don't fuck
Yeah,
people on the street.
Yeah, I'm not a good comedian, so they're not gonna laugh a lot because I don't know how to tell jokes. So.
And I'm a really serious guy, so yeah.
Yeah, we both are, I think so. There's no way they're gonna laugh a lot.
Too stiff to make jokes. But that's it. Thank you for watching, to spend all this time with us, and see you next
On the next one.